let's do this. Let's put Lillard in Miami. We don't know how different Miami looks with that. And let's put Harden in Los Angeles with the Clippers, and we don't know how different Los Angeles or Philadelphia would look on that point of view. Have we appreciably changed anything of the pecking order in this league coming off of last season? Has anybody in your mind, maybe it's the Celtics with what they did with Porzingis, Beal with the Suns, have we rearranged anything significantly enough that the Nuggets aren't still the best team? What do you got for me on that front?
No, I think they're still the best team, but, it's a battle of attrition, too. When the moves are going to be made during the season, as we saw with the Lakers, that improve their situation tremendously. Injuries play a key role, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time for Phoenix to figure some things out because they're top-heavy, they're top 4, 5 guys at the beginning. Mm-hmm. But then again, their depth was an issue last year. And Ayton's mindset is going to be very important to what Phoenix ultimately does because you're down the pecking order a little bit more now with a scoring guy like Bradley Beal. I think in the East, Boston was always – they had some things matchup-wise against Miami that didn't go right, but to me they were always still my favorite just because of the makeup of the team. And it was a tough situation on Joe Mazzulla and everybody with the change in coaching and all of that last year that they had to deal with. But Philly, you think about it, they don't have James, and if they do, they take a step back depending on what they get back in return because they were already – in a situation, Rich, when you watch Philadelphia play, mm-hmm. they needed things to actually go right for them in regards to they needed James to play well. They needed Maxey to play well. They needed Embiid. They needed Tobias. They needed these guys. They didn't have a lot of reprieve because the depth-wise of guys that can really have an impact just wasn't there. And you lose a James Harden, despite him maybe not being the Harden of Houston, he still had an impact on the game. So I don't think it changes the pecking order outside of Philly. Depending on what they get back, that drops them back.
It drops them back, huh? So, what is your take on Harden? Just give all what I'm asking. You're all in one. Like, yeah. What's your take on him? Like, is he? He's a value add. The question is he a value minus when push comes to shove? What do you got for me on that, Jim?
My thing is I don't think he affects the winning aspect as the other dominant players do. Can he play? But I will say this about James Harden. I will give him a lot of credit from this perspective. You know what you're getting with James Harden, especially when he came to Brooklyn. He was a scoring machine. How much is that going to relate to winning basketball games when it counts? He hadn't been able to prove it. But the mindset for him to go into Brooklyn and say, you know what, I'm going to play point guard and not worry about the other things. I do want to win. That told me a lot about him as a person, okay, to be able to make that change when you're at the top of your game, accept the criticism that came with it by maybe not playing the way that we're accustomed to seeing him play, carry that to Philly as well. Now, again, he's not the same as far as quickness. He can't get by guys, but his effectiveness to set players up, it showed me a little insight into his maturity as a player that I don't think he can be your top guy. But if his mindset is right, he can still give you enough where he's a threat on the court with 2 other players that give you a viable option to win. He can't be the main guy, of course, we know that. But I will say that I've learned a lot over the last 2 or 3 years about him as a individual by taking the stance that he took in regards to his new role as more of a playmaker than a scorer.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.